Hey friends, welcome back. I'm Casey. If you are new here, I'm so glad that you've joined me. Today we're moving into a tutorial for Koundinyasana B, or Ekapada Koundinyasana 2. This is the second part of the arm balance tutorial series that I am moving through right now. So the first thing that we did was crow pose, Bakasana, and we really want to think about that as the foundation for all arm balances. So as you're moving into Koundinyasana B today, just keep in mind what we went over with crow. So fingers spread nice and wide, elbows stack over your wrists, shoulders move past your fingertips, and think about your elbows over your wrists in a 360 direction, right? So sometimes I'll see people way out here, fingertips will turn in, way out here, all kinds of weird stuff. But the more stacked you can get, the more stable you'll be in the air. So just keep that in mind. Koundinyasana B is going to look something like this, and it'll be a little different for everyone. So we're going to get into the hips, the hamstrings, obviously the core, the inner thighs. And from there, we're just going to get started on our backs. If you feel like you need a block or two, you might grab those. Not necessary, just whatever you need. And then we'll find a comfortable shape on your back. So you might keep the soles of your feet together with your knees dropped out wide, just to right away start to get into your inner thighs, your hips. Just give yourself a couple of breaths here to land in your space. Notice where you can soften, where you can send your breath. Can you start to equalize each breath in and each breath out? And then your next breath, take a full body stretch. Fingertips reach back, toes point forward. And then pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Start to find some circles with your hips so your knees move away from each other. And then toward each other, giant hip circles. Pull your knees back through center. Keep hugging your right knee in, but kick your left leg straight out in front of you and let it hover. So see how long you can get through the back of your left leg without letting it touch the mat. And then toes flex back towards you. Really energize your leg. And then start to peel your shoulders off the mat. Maybe your nose comes to your right knee. Activate your legs. Can you lift the bottom tips of your shoulder blades a little higher? And then kick your right leg to the sky. Reach your fingertips out in front of you. If you need some support behind your head, hands can always come back there. And then just lower your right heel to tap your left toes. Inhale, sweep it high. Just a few more times. Lower to tap. Lift on your inhale. Last two. Next time your leg lifts, bend your knee, pull it into your chest. Can you reach your fingertips to the sky? And then can you just send your right knee straight out to the right? Biceps might reach by your ears. Hands can always support your head. Front ribs knit in. Take one more breath. And then pull your knee into your chest, find a twist, send it to the left. Come back through center, pull your left knee in, right leg extends in front of you, flex through your right foot. Lengthen through your inner right heel and then shoulders peel off the mat. Just take a couple of breaths, front ribs knit in. And then leg kicks to the sky. Fingertips can reach forward wherever they need to go. Lower your left heel to tap your right toes. Sweep it high. Lower it to tap. And lift. Last two. Pull your knee into your chest. Fingertips might reach to the sky. And then let your leg drop out to the left. Maybe your left arm by your left ear. Maybe both arms by your ears. And then let it go. Pull your knee in. Find that twist. Come back through center, give yourself a little squeeze, and then take a few rocks back and forth along your spine as many times as you need. Eventually cross your shins, plant your palms, make your way to downward facing. And pedal out through your heels. Soften the back of your neck. And then walk your hands back to meet your feet. Forward fold, back of the mat. You can reach for opposite elbows. Let the crown of your head hang heavy. Release your fingertips to the mat. Walk back out, downward facing dog. On your inhale, roll forward to plank. Pause there. Knees can always drop if you need some support. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Hips soften to the height of your shoulders. Wrap your triceps back. Take an inhale. And then send your hips high, downward facing. Inhale, roll to plank. This time lower halfway, chaturanga, elbows pull back. Inhale, lift your chest. Cobra, maybe up dog. Downward facing on your exhale. Right leg rises. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Let's take a breath. And on your exhale, pull your knee to your right shoulder. Inhale, sweep it back and stack. Exhale, under and across, left shoulder. Send it back to stack. Pull your knee to your nose. Pause there. Can you find a little more space between your shin and the mat? And then step next to your right thumb. Spin your back heel down. Left arm pulls you up. Warrior two. Think about your upper arm bones pulling away from each other. Broaden through your chest. Find some space between your shoulder blades. And press your hands to your heart. Hook your right elbow inside your right knee. Think about lifting your heart towards your thumbs. Hug your outer right hip back. If you want to spice it up, biceps might reach by your ears. And then ground into your feet. Press up, reverse. Hands windmill down, frame your front foot. Sweep your right leg high. Bend your knees, stack your hips. On your exhale, pull your knee to your nose. Step next to your right thumb. Back heel spins down, this time 45-degree angle. So climb up to your fingertips, pull your navel in, and then maybe your fingertips hover. Maybe your arms run down by your sides. Maybe biceps reach by your ears. Press into your feet to come up, warrior one. So you can heel toe your right foot out to the right an inch or two if you want to make some space for your hips. But think about your right ribs wrapping back, left ribs spin forward. Gaze might lift, palms might touch. Bend your elbows, cactus your arms. Interlace your fingers at your low back yoga mudra. Just find some space through the front of your chest, your shoulders, and then bow forward on your exhale. So see if you can slide your right inner thigh or your right ribs inside your right inner thigh. On your next breath, lift your torso halfway. Can you keep yoga mudra with your hands? Come to the ball of your back foot to help float you up. Warrior three. Ground into your right big toe. Left inner thigh spins to the sky. Feel the front of your body lift up into your back body. Take a breath. Release your arms, maybe biceps by your ears. Deep bend in your right knee, chair pose, left foot steps to meet it. So send the weight into your left leg, pull your right knee into your chest, and then hook your ankle over your left knee, figure four. Spine can stay tall, you might go a little deeper. I like to rest my forearms on my shin. Just breathe into your outer right hip. And on your next breath, right hand to your right knee, left hand might come to your hip. Stand all the way up and send your knee out to the right. Take a breath. Sweep your knee toward the front of your space. Can you keep it lifted? Reach your arms by your ears. Maybe you kick your right leg long. And then sweep it back, warrior three. Just here to transition. Crescent pose, step way back. Big inhale. Breathe into the front of your right hip. And then frame your front foot. Step to plank, optional vinyasa. Meet back in downward facing. Left leg goes high. Bend your knee, stack your hips. Exhale, knee to your left shoulder. Inhale it back to stack. Under and across, right shoulder. Sweep it back to stack. Knee to your nose, pause there. Can you lift a little higher to your right toes? Step between your hands, back heel grounds. Right arm pulls you up. Soften your jaw, soften your gaze, your breath. And then press your hands to your heart. Left elbow hooks inside your left knee. Elbows stack, outer left hip wraps back. Ground into the outer edge of your right foot. For the last couple of breaths, biceps might reach by your ears. Press into your feet to come up, reverse. Hands windmill down, frame your front foot. Sweep your left leg high. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Pull your knee to your nose. Step between your palms. Back heel grounds. Come straight. Oh, just kidding. Lift up to your fingertips. And then maybe your fingertips hover. Arms might run down by your sides. Let your tailbone scoot back. Biceps might reach by your ears. And then press all the way up. Warrior one. Let each breath in create a little more space between your ribs. Each exhale, everything knits in towards your midline. Bend your elbows, cactus your arms. Interlace your fingers at your low back, opposite thumb and pinky on top if you can remember. And just take a breath to find some space through your chest. Bow forward on your exhale. So your torso can always rest on your thigh here, but maybe you start to slide your left ribs, left shoulder inside your left thigh and knee. And then lift your torso halfway. Come to the ball of your back foot and use that to help float you up. Warrior three. Right inner thigh keeps hooking up to the sky. Ground into your left big toe. For the last breath, maybe you reach your arms by your ears. Chair pose, left knee bends. Step your right foot to meet it. Send the weight into your right leg. Pull your left knee in and hook your ankle over your right knee. Figure four. On your next breath, lift your chest, left hand to your knee, stand all the way up, knee goes out to the left. And then sweep it out in front of you. Can you keep it where it is? Reach your arms by your ears. Get tall through the crown of your head. Maybe left leg goes straight for a breath. Warrior three, sweep it back. Deep bend in your right knee to float you back. Crescent pose. Just take a breath here to breathe into the front of your left hip. Frame your right foot. Step to plank. Optional vinyasa. Gets you to child's pose or downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths. When you're ready, from down dog, walk your hands to your feet, forward fold back of the mat. And then heel toe your feet together, big toes might touch. Half lift on your inhale, exhale, fold. Knees bend, arms rise, chair pose. Weight goes into your left leg, right knee hugs in. Hook your ankle, figure four. So right hand can come back to your right knee, or this time peace fingers might hook around your big toe. Stand all the way up and send your knee out to the right. And then you might play around with lengthening through your inner right heel. So when you think about your legs in Koundinyasana B, it is actually either here or here. We're just standing up. And then sweep your right leg straight out in front of you. Maybe keep it lifted with your biceps by your ears. Warrior three, sweep it back. And then standing split, fingertips float down. Look to the top of your mat, walk your hands there, three-leg dog. Bend your right knee, stack your hips. Pull your knee to your nose, step next to your right thumb. Back heel grounds, come up warrior one. Arms go out wide, right arm wraps under your left, eagle arms. Fingertips might lift, forearms might lift, little upper back bend. Bow forward on your exhale. So release your arms, but just play around with nuzzling your right shoulder underneath your right knee and thigh. You might hold onto your right ankle, maybe frame your foot, fly your arms, maybe play around with taking a bind at your low back. But wherever you are, breathe. When you're ready, gently release. Step back to plank. Optional vinyasa gets you to down dog. Big breath in. Sigh it out. Walk your hands back to your feet. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. Fold on your exhale. Knees bend, arms rise, chair pose. Weight goes into your right leg, left knee hugs in. Hook your ankle. Stay as lifted as you want, go as low as you need. And then left hand might come to your left knee, maybe peace fingers to your big toe. Send your knee out to the left wherever you are. Can you drop your tailbone toward the earth? Can you lift the crown of your head to the sky? And then sweep your leg out in front of you. Can you keep it lifted? Reach your arms by your ears. Sweep it back, warrior three. With control, fingertips float down, standing split. Look forward, walk your hands forward, three-leg dog. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Pull your knee to your nose, step next to your left thumb. Back heel grounds, come up warrior one. Arms go out wide, left arm wraps this time underneath. Whatever variation of eagle arms you need, but can you lift your chest just for a breath? Bow forward on your exhale. And then release your arms. And start to slide your left shoulder underneath your left knee and thigh. You might frame your foot, maybe fly your arms, maybe play around with a bind at your low back. Take one more breath. Gently release. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Optional vinyasa brings you to child's pose. Come back to your breath. And then when you're ready, come up to your knees. So the cool thing is that we pretty much just did Koundinyasana B a couple of times. And now we're just going to play around with lifting our feet off the earth while we do it. So there are a couple of different ways that you can get into it. One might be from down dog split, and then you pull your knee forward to float forward. That one's pretty straightforward. We'll go there first. Just going to move my blocks out of the way. So right leg will go high in down dog. And on your exhale, pull your right knee really high up your right arm. We'll just pause there for a breath. See how high up your arm you can get your knee, and then sweep it high. So we'll add on a little bit more this time. Pull your right knee to your right shoulder. This time, bend your elbows, lean forward like you're going over the edge of a cliff. So also what I'm doing here is my left elbow is kind of hooked underneath my left hip to help support me on that side. So again, from here, right knee will come to your right shoulder. You'll lean forward, bend your elbows, chaturanga your arms, and then your right tricep is a shelf for your right inner thigh. Back toes might lift, right leg might go straight. So just play around with that. Lots of different steps to get you there. Your back toes might not come up, but you're still doing it, right? You can also bring a block to the back of your mat to put your toes on the block, and that'll help you feel what it's like to be lifted. So one more time. From down dog split, on your exhale, right knee to your right shoulder, lean forward, bend your elbows, and fly. And then can you keep your shoulders lifted to the height of your elbows? Beautiful. So do that on both sides. And then I'll show you the other option on the left side. So this is similar to what we were just doing. Will be, let's start in down dog split on this side too. So left leg goes high. And on your exhale, just step outside your left pinky finger. So now we play around with nuzzling your left shoulder underneath your left knee and thigh. That helps you get your leg up a little bit higher on your shoulder than you might be able to drifting forward and just floating straight into it. So when you're here, just really see how high up on your shoulder you can get your leg. Plant your palms, come to the ball of your left foot. And then again, think about leaning forward to float up. Elbows bend. Right hip is resting on my right elbow. Beautiful. So something else that I see a lot is floating the back leg really high up. So if you're floating from there into chin stand, which is a perfect transition, then absolutely. But if you're just hanging out in Koundinyasana B, see if you can keep your entire body on the same plane, parallel with the earth. I'm out of breath after that one. So just be sure to play around on both sides. See which way feels better for you. Know that there are always different stages to get you there. You don't even have to lift your feet off the mat. You're so close already. Even with both of your feet on the earth, you're doing it, right? It's just about gaining that confidence to then pick your feet up and just see what happens. So when you're ready, we'll start to cool it down. Just come down to a comfortable shape on your back. When you get there, plant your feet hips width apart. And just take a couple of breaths in bridge. Arms root down, hips lift. Take one more inhale. Slowly lower down. Walk your feet a little wider than your mat and just windshield wipe your knees from side to side. Bring your legs back through center and let your knees just knock together up top with your feet out wide. Come back to your breath. So feel free to stay here for as long as you need. You might extend your legs to the top corners of your mat. You might find legs up the wall if you have space to do that. But there's no rush to leave where you are. Wherever you are, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time for a new arm balance tutorial. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you.